During many centuries in various parts of the world, various diabolical rites and ceremonies have been practiced in homage to various sinister gods who are believed to have many supernatural powers. These rites are generally known as voodoo, which consists mostly of black magic and the cult of death. The practice of voodoo invokes the supreme god, Baron Samedi, who is supposed to be able to revive the dead. This rite is presided over by Dambala, a kind of supreme priest to whom the witches or followers dedicate their diabolical ceremonies, the same as the snake priestess.
And out of their West Indian island comes a tale of terror and voodoo, of witchcraft and zombies, and all the weird black magic that the white man seldom sees.
From Haiti, land of the voodoo, the sinister power behind the white zombie.
Voodoo?
I don't understand. What is this voodoo?
Oh, it's a native superstition. Captain, sometimes even I get frightened by these people's eyes.
The voodoo curse strikes at all who are drawn there by the lure of gold. Look out!
Ashes. Maybe they're not ashes from a fire. Maybe they're ashes of a different kind.
Black magic cast its darkest spell, turning it into a jungle of overpowering evil.
The white zombie obeys the unholy commands of her demon masters.
Primitive rhythms and the ancient cult of voodoo are the heartbeat and lifeblood of the people who live in one of the world's most miserable countries. This is Haiti, a land of idol worship and of Papa Doc Duvalier. Together they ruined this once lovely, once prosperous country which sits on one end of the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean. Nature endowed this place with fertility and natural beauty. It was left to the greed and ignorance of men to ruin it.
For 167 years, ever since its revolution dislodged the French in 1804, Haiti has been torn by terror, bloodshed, and despair. Of its 34 presidents, only 6 have finished their term in office. The others were either overthrown or killed. Still, Haiti likes to call itself the Pearl of the Antilles. It had surely been that for the French, said to be the richest, the most prosperous colony in all the world. Coffee and sugar, mahogany and molasses were the treasures. But after the 500,000 blacks revolted against their white masters, they began to fight among themselves.
Poverty, ignorance, disease, and misery. This week, Echo looks at Papa Doc's country, the beggar of the Americas, Haiti. Life is not only meager in Haiti, but short. Malnutrition and ignorance combine to limit life expectancy to a mere 42 years. The principal medical services in the country were provided by a few volunteer teams who fought a losing battle against the power of voodoo priests and witch doctors who hold the bulk of Haiti's 5 million people under their spell. Those who survive do so on the lowest living standard in the world. For most, scratching a living from the earth and offering its fruits for sale in a buyer's market is the only way to subsist. The average earnings in Haiti have remained at the starvation level of about $70 a year, ever since Papa Doc Duvalier took over the country. But most of Haiti's densely packed population manage on less. But there is a fatalism about the Haitians which enables them seemingly to live with the violence and bloodshed which have been the backdrop to Haiti's 167 years of existence. A bus ride away in the towns, the same lethargy hangs in the air like mist.
The Haitian peasant has heard promises and optimism before, but promises and optimism have not put food into his belly nor money in his pockets. His leaders have enriched themselves. They have milked the country and deposited the proceeds in their foreign bank accounts. They have kept the peasant ignorant while they fought among themselves for the palace spoils. While through the years, in their voodoo and their rah-rah, the peasant, in the countryside and in the city, has eked out his existence. And each year when Lent ends and Easter's renewal comes, he sings and dances in the streets.
Few people, it can be safely said, have been so downtrodden, so badly used as the Haitians under Duvalier. His power was the power of the gun, his politics the politics of the firing squad. While there may have been germs of political opposition, they were rarely heard inside Papa Doc's Haiti. The forces of law and order, as represented by this motley collection of armed police, effectively snuffed out whatever opposition there might have been. Ill-trained except in violence, inefficient except in extortion, they would have been laughable had they not been so deadly. Duvalier himself was rarely seen in the streets. When he did venture out, he always carried a Tommy gun and a pocketful of money, the two extremes of persuasion and equally effective in their ways. And there were always the tontons. In fact, a band of armed thugs with absolute power of life and death, the tontons macoute were vested with dark and mysterious power in the half-world of voodoo. In the popular imagination, the tonton macoute represented a deity which could snatch men away and carry them off to a kind of hell, and the reality was not far behind the fable.
Who can stop the American press or any other from making accusations?
The Haitian primitive, full of color and vitality, full of innocence. innocence in Haiti seems incongruous in the light of all of the grisly tales that have come from there in the last decade or more. But anyone who travels there must be enchanted by the gentleness of the Haitian people and by the brooding beauty of their land. If the men who rule in Haiti now have determined they'll be faithful to their promises of stability and justice, these Haitians may have just a chance to realize the hope of the Easter they are celebrating. These Haitians who have sung and danced their way through so many hopeless years.